Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of our weekly entertainment podcast, Spitball Media. This is where we spit out the top stories of the week in the entertainment world as it as taking place in the early weeks of 2024. My name is John Draper. B Show Brian is on assignment, and with me, as always, is the one and only Mr. King of Philadelphia himself, Shaheen. Shah, how are you feeling? B Show is under the weather.
Oh, I'm struggling. I am no, I'm not sick. I need more fiber in my diet. And I've caused some damage to myself. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh no. Fiber. Wait, you ran cereal and shit?
No, my butt hurts. Let's leave it at that.
Oh, we could do a whole show about this, dude.
I got an internal one. Hemorrhoid.
An internal hemorrhoid?
Yeah.
How does that even happen? Who gave it to you? What was his name? What was he like? What was his likes and dislikes?
I guess the veins inside my butthole are irritated.
I wasn't ready for that.
It's the worst, man.
You usually eat decent.
It's the worst, dude. I don't know if it has anything to do with my hernia.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm struggling, dude.
Oh, dude, you are struggling. Well, listen,
it just feels like I have
under the weather. He sends everybody's life.
Feels like I have like the knife from Scream like inside my asshole all day. You know?
Wow. Is that what the doctor said? He said it's gonna feel like the Scream. What's the mask killer from Scream? I forget something face.
Oh,
what's his name?
Fuck.
Ghostface.
Ghostface, yeah.
Not Killer, like the one we know and love. This is actually a different Ghostface who kills. Would be cool if it was a Ghostface killer mask, though. That'd be kind of fun. Hey, yo. But Bishop Brian is sick. Shah is dying. I'm old. And this is Spitball Media Podcast. If you're joining us for the first time, you really want to consider going to patreon.com/break the app. We have the lowest price, the low price of just $5 a month. And that's going to get you, I don't know, 1,000+ hours of high-end special entertainment going back to the Break the Apocalypse Day, Shah.
There's not a better goddamn deal, man. There's not a better goddamn deal. I bought a gallon of iced tea for almost like fucking $3. It's not even a gallon. It's a half gallon, right?
Jesus Christ.
Half gallon.
That's a half gallon. Yeah, that's a half gallon. But yeah, consider going to patreon.com/break the app. $5 a month. That's going to get you every show in its entirety, bonus shows, question and answer content, theme shows. We do our own shows sometimes. Sometimes we just do independent shows. And Shah, it's all right there for them for a really low, affordable discount price all year round.
$5.
You got $5 on it?
Yeah, they got $5 on it.
And of course, we want to thank the many Patreons. They got $5 on it. And of course, we want to thank the many Patreon fans and friends joining us. And of course, the people in the chat, like our good friend Joe Punches. He said there's a lot of stuff going on in entertainment, which it really is. We don't think we can get to all of it, Joe. Kevco TV, my good friend Terrell, and of course, Slave Cheeks. The Bayou Geeks is in the house. And Slave Cheeks, Clerics of Chaos, Joe Punches. Listen, guys. Wish B Show Brian well. He would want to be here if he could. I was watching an episode of Jeopardy, and I my kids were watching it earlier, and the guy looked like he ate B Show Brian. It was a big burly guy, Shah. Like this dude was fucking like 3 B shows. And I walked out, I go, this guy's like B Show. And even the kids were like, he does look like, he's like a big, I go, he's like BB. He's like burly Big Show. He was so big. But we're hoping Big Show. I was calling B Show, Big Show. Big Show.
It's gonna be his new name.
Well, it's the B Show, Big Show. He's not.
Yeah, that's what he should do for his solo Patreon episodes.
The Big Show. Oh, just open it with the Big Show theme.
Yeah, except switch it to the B Show.
It's the B Show. It's a B Show tonight. Yeah, and it is a pretty good price. I'm keeping the beard. I just like it. I just don't want to get rid of it. I like looking like some type of terrorist. But thank you guys for checking us out and hanging out. And of course, thank you to the many, many Patreons. This week, at some point coming up in the week, we're going to drop a bonus show. We might be doing a Bo is Afraid theme show. I don't know. We're going to try to figure that out. I got to see if these two guys aren't dead. If they're dead, I'll just do a bonus show. But Shah, I just want to get to something real quick because this is on all my social media pages. I've had two people that I know personally, one very different than the other, pass away this week. The first one is legendary Mets baseball player, shortstop Bud Harrelson. He was also the coach of the Mets. He was a co-owner of the Long Island Ducks. He was a phenomenal shortstop in his day. He's famously known, Shah, for getting beat up by Pete Rose on the field, who was 3 times his size. But he was a friend of my dad's. They were in the Army together, and then they maintained their friendship outside of the Army. He was a wonderful guy, very kind, soft-spoken, Southern type dude. My dad kept up his relationship with this guy. My father's been gone many years. Bud Harrelson passed away today. He was a wonderful guy, just got an amazing reputation with people, and especially if you're a Mets fan. But he was also a hell of a baseball player, and he was a good friend to my dad. So I was thinking about him today and my father. And just on a personal note, somebody that I knew very well in the entertainment world, since this is an entertainment show, and this is someone who was very big in the entertainment world. A friend of mine from many years ago, through my ex-wife, Tracey Hurley. She was a PR person. She's worked with Prince. She's worked with Depeche Mode. She was a very well-known PR person. Her and her sister, twin sister Tanya, they were very well known in entertainment. She was married to Vince Clarke. Vince Clarke is the musician in Depeche Mode, Yaz, and Erasure. We were very friendly with them for many years, me and my ex-wife. Through a very weird set of circumstances, we became friends. And she was a wonderful person. And she's been on my mind a lot this week. I didn't know she was sick. I hadn't seen her in a long time, but she's getting a lot of attention in the press and in media, especially in the UK. I just want to take a minute to say she was a wonderful person. She was a very good friend to my ex-wife. She was a good friend to me at one point. These were some of the best people. You know what, Shah? Like, you've met a lot of people like in wrestling, some very, 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 some of the most famous people. And, it's always a shock when you meet people who are in entertainment world, in show business, and they're not pieces of shit. And I know for a fact that you've told me privately, many people were not good people in the wrestling world. But these were real show business people, not fake show business people who pretend they're in show business because they have a podcast or some shit. These were the real deal. These were people that worked with the biggest names in the industry and entertainment and music, and also in comedy and acting. And they couldn't have been better people. And I have very fond memories of hanging out with Vince and Tracy and my ex-wife many a night, drunk, smoking shit tons of cigarettes, whether it was at a bowling alley or hanging out at Irving Plaza when Erasure sold out like 10 nights there. Just wonderful fucking people. And it's heartbreaking. It's been a really tough couple of days, but I had tremendous amount of love and respect for her and Vince and their son, Oscar. And I grieve for their family, and just a terrible, terrible, terrible loss. And I see she's getting so much respect in like Variety and all these magazines and all these newspapers and Depeche Mode and all these people talking about Tracy. I had to mention it. She was a very special person to my ex-wife. They were very close. And, it's a shock. But I want to get all that out of the way so we can talk about some of the big entertainment stories this week, Shah. And there's some big ones. A couple things broke earlier in the week. A couple things broke today. But one thing I wanted to check with you, Shah, is talk a little bit about the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes took place over the weekend. It was Sunday. And some interesting stories out of the Golden Globes. It was a big battle to see if Barbie or Oppenheimer or Killers of the Flower Moon would absolutely dominate. And shout out to my friend Marquise Johns joining us in the chat. Shah, did you happen to catch any of the Golden Globes?
No, I just read the results. I don't have cable. I haven't had cable for years at this point. So I don't really have any way of watching it. And I even went on YouTube and typed in Golden Globes and went on live streams to see if anybody's like broadcasting it. But it's just people doing reactions to it. With the algorithm and the AI being so sensitive now, they're able to catch copyrighted material if you're streaming it. So, nobody streams stuff anymore. So,
well, Paramount Plus was streaming it. Just so you know, if you have access to Paramount Plus through Showtime or whatever, you could watch that. It was available.
No, the only things I have now is just Max and Hulu and Shudder.
But you got some good stuff though. You got some good stuff there. But some big news coming out of there. First and foremost, I talked about this film. Not many people saw it. I know Joe Punches was a fan. The Holdovers. Paul Giamatti. There's a separate category in the Globes, unlike the Oscars, where they put musicals and comedies in one category. So we had our good buddy there, Joaquin Phoenix for Beau is Afraid. So it was a deep look at this category shot. You had Nicolas Cage for Dream Scenario, Timothy Chalamet for Wonka, Matt Damon for Air, Joaquin Phoenix for Beau is Afraid, Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction, and the winner was Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. I actually thought Joaquin Phoenix, I watched this live. I actually thought Joaquin Phoenix, because now I'm so in touch with Beau is Afraid, I actually convinced myself that he might win. You know what I mean? But interesting because Dream Scenario, that movie was on our radar and just kind of fell off for Nicolas Cage.
Is it even in theaters right now? Like I'm so
It was
lost
in and out. It was in and out. It was
Really?
in for a couple. Yeah, it was in for very little by me. I don't know anyone who saw it. If anyone in the chat saw it, let us know. We were very curious because Ari Aster produced that film, right, Shah?
Yeah. He produced it.
And of course, it looked like an interesting premise. Kind of had a Beau is Afraid vibe. Did you catch that?
Yeah, it was like a surrealist dark comedy kind of with obviously some horror elements in there.
Oh, for sure.
Very much Ari Aster-esque. So
Yeah, so Paul Giamatti takes it. I definitely think he's getting nominated for an Academy Award. Don't think he'll win. Holdovers was probably one of the best films of the year, easily. I saw it very late in the year. Anyone who saw it loved it. But Joe Punches is saying he saw Dream Scenario on Prime. It's pretty weird, not too shabby, some messed up stuff in it. Yeah, I think it's got some fucked up themes. I definitely think Shah and I will be checking out that movie. And of course, Shah, the big winner for the female actress in a musical comedy or motion picture, Emma Stone for Poor Things. This is another person who is very hot on the radar for that film. Maybe one of the best reviewed movies of the year. Unfortunately, neither one of us have still seen it. It's definitely on our radar for sure. But she did win. She beat out some pretty big names. Jennifer Lawrence, Natalie Portman, Margot Robbie, Fantasia Barrino for The Color Purple, someone for a movie called Fallen Leaves that I've never heard of. But she beat Barbie, dude. I mean, Emma Stone beat Barbie for Poor Things.
yeah, just the fact that a Yorgos Lanthimos movie like beat Barbie, that's amazing to me. What a time to be alive.
It beat Barbie. It beat The Color Purple. It beat Natalie Portman in a movie. It beat Jennifer Lawrence in a movie.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, there's no doubt she's going to get nominated. I don't think she'll win. Again, like Paul Giamatti, I don't think they'll win because again, these are in musical categories, and in the on the Oscars, it's just 5 straight. Doesn't matter if it was a comedy. It's generally not comedies, as we all know. Oscars comedies generally don't win.
Well, comedies don't even exist anymore.
Comedies they very rarely are represented, almost never, which is bullshit. But whatever. The big winner for the best actor in a drama, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. This did not seem like a slam dunk to me, Shah. I got to tell you, I did not. Bradley Cooper from Maestro, I haven't seen it, but my brother Mike said it was probably one of the best films he's seen in years. He rewatched it. That's how good he said it was.
That's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's free on Netflix. I have to watch that. Andrew Scott, All of Us Strangers, low-budget art house movie, gets good reviews. Coleman Domingo for the biopic of Rustin. Not a lot of people saw that or All of Us Strangers. Barry Keoghan for Saltburn. He's a great actor. That movie's on my radar. A lot of people asking me about that. Have you heard about Saltburn? It's on
Prime. I've been it's on my to watch list.
And of course, Shah, the big swinging dick that he beat Leonardo DiCaprio for Killers of the Flower Moon. Does this seem like a surprise to you? You've seen Oppenheimer above all those movies.
No, I wouldn't say.
What would you say about his performance? I mean, now that you've seen the movie and so forth.
I love the movie, man. I love the movie. Like, I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I expected. The only reason I really watched it was because, you know, from my understanding, there was no special effects in it. It was all just practical. And how much hype was behind it. So it's not necessarily a movie I would go out of my way to watch, but I'm glad I watched it because I actually enjoyed it a whole lot more than I expected. So if it can sell me on it, you know, I mean, he did a great fucking job, I thought.
Now, you are one of my favorite people to ask this question to. Did you think it felt like 3 hours?
No, I didn't.
Wow. Unreal. Jesus. Okay.
I didn't. I was very much like into the movie. Like, it, you know.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think because of I mean, in my opinion, it had everything, right? It was a great story. It was beautifully shot. Maybe one of the best casts of the 21st century. Cinematography, direction, music, right? Do you think this is one of those rare cases where something like this, it's kind of, I hate to say the word, but do you think it's almost kind of like a flawless movie in a way? Like there's nothing you could kind of pick at it and go, I would have done this differently. I would have cast this person or not. Like, did you have any grievance with the film? Because I can't think of any really.
Not really off top of my head. No, not necessarily. Plus, it had Florence Pugh showing her
She's
titty.
great.
So
Yeah. That was a crazy role for her, huh?
yeah, I don't know, man. It's not. I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorites of the year, but at the same time, I could see it being a flawless movie because I can't really point anything out.
Mm.
You know, like even the length of it. I feel like movies like this deserve a 3-hour run. You know what I mean? To really properly be able to tell the story.
Yeah.
Like Killers of the Flower Moon. That's a very historic event that not many of us were familiar with.
Not
But
at all. Not at
I
all.
think
And
that
it's
it's
real.
deserving of a 3-hour run to be able to
Mm.
tell that story. That's not a movie that you can tell in an hour and a half. So,
Yeah. Do you think
um,
Oppenheimer would have sucked ass if they tried to make it an hour and a half?
yeah, it would be rushed because you wouldn't be as invested in the story. You know what I mean? You want to get to know the characters. It's one of those. I don't want to say slow burn, but it kind of is a slow burn.
It
It's
is a
fucking,
slow burn,
yeah,
right?
it's a
Yeah.
slow burn, but
It's a slow
it,
burn, and then they burn several 100,000 people to death.
right,
Literally.
no pun intended. But I
No.
mean, it's a captivating movie, man. I love biopics. I love historical movies. I love period pieces, and this was all three. So
I wish you would have caught that in IMAX because I got to tell you.
I know,
Oh boy, bro.
I know.
Woo! That
I
was
know.
something to see in IMAX. Joe Punches said for a 3-hour movie, it went very quick. Kevco TV said Saltburn, one of the best of last year.
I heard Saltburn has a lot of fucked up scenes in there.
Yeah, there's one in particular that I'm not going to get into with because I'd rather you watch it and not know, but I hope nobody.
Yeah, I don't know
goes
anything
to the top.
about it. I just heard it's got some
There's
scenes.
one that involves licking up something that you probably are going to remember for a long time. But that's all I can tell you. That somebody licks something out of a shower drain. I'll let you go with that. I'll give you a hint. It ain't roses. Now they had a weird award this year, Sean. I think they created it really because of Barbie, to be honest with you. It was called Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. This was just for movies that made a dick ton of money. So if you made close to $1 billion or more, you could have won this award. And look at this category. You had the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Mario Brothers movie, the Taylor Swift movie, Oppenheimer, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, John Wick 4, and of course the winner, Barbie. Which kind of makes sense if you're achieving box office achievement because it made more than all these fucking movies, right?
See, I expected Super Mario to win actually, because I felt like that was everybody kind of enjoyed that. You know what I mean? Like Barbie was catering to, the at home moms and the younger crowd. I feel like Super Mario is something everybody could have found some sort of entertainment.
Well, in a couple of weeks, we're going to hear the announcements for the best for the Academy Awards, which is the Motherlode, right? And that's going to be, that's getting nominated for best animated feature.
Of course.
You know damn well, the Spider-Man movie is getting nominated.
Ninja Turtles.
Turtles is going to get. It's going to be whatever the Pixar bullshit of the year was. It's going to be interesting.
Elemental.
I have a feeling I would love to see Super Mario Brothers win that above Spider-Man, only because Spider-Man movie is great and it's very popular and it's very beloved, but there's something about that Mario Brothers movie. I just think it made people who didn't think on paper this would be something they gave a shit about to give a shit about. You know what I mean?
Did you watch it?
Oh, I loved it. I watched it twice. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I love that movie, man.
Yeah, Barbie got that. Now the big award for the best drama. You had that movie Zone of Interest, Shah. That was that Holocaust movie. That was nominated for Best Picture. Past Lives, we've talked about that movie. That's that Asian movie, relationship movie. It's very popular. People,
A24.
A24. Anatomy of a Fall, which had a big night, by the way. Must see this movie. I have to see this fucking movie.
Same, man. I'm hearing so much hype about it. Oh my god, it's a masterpiece. It's fucking.
I have to see it. It's a French, mostly half French movie. Maestro. I'm excited to watch that. I like Bradley Cooper. Killers of the Flower Moon, and of course the winner, Oppenheimer. No big surprise. I didn't not expect it to win, but Oppenheimer was mopping the floor with the competition that night. But you look at that category, just to have a movie like Anatomy of a Fall or even The Zone of Interest, small art house foreign film shot going up against Scorsese, Christopher Nolan. It's a big fucking deal, dude.
Yeah, Anatomy of a Fall. I mean, that's a big achievement, dude. A small time indie neon movie that barely had a theater run. It was in theaters for like a week. You know what I mean?
I think
Like,
it might have been in theaters for more than maybe a second
maybe
week.
tops 2 weeks, but certainly wasn't anything compared to, you know, Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh God, no. I mean, I don't even know what it made. These are small art house movies. They're foreign films, but they're so well reviewed. These might be represented at the Oscars. Don't be surprised if we start if both of these films are not nominated for the Oscars. That's all I'm saying. And I have to see
Poor
both
Things. I want to see Poor Things get
well,
some
I just was going to mention it in the musical or comedy best motion picture. Poor Things won another big night. It beat The Holdovers, American Fiction, May, December, Barbie, and Air. It beat Barbie again. I mean, this is a huge night for our favorite strange little director there, huh?
Yeah, a friend of mine, he saw it at the movie theater 5 times already.
Poor Things?
5 times.
I heard it's like an hour and a half, right?
I think it's 1 hour and 45 or something like that. I don't think it's not like a 3-hour movie.
No, it's not a very long
No, actually, I'm lying. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's what it is.
Okay. I might go this weekend. I have a long weekend with the holiday. I'd like to check it out. But the big night for what's his name? Shah. I can never pronounce his name. Sorry.
Lanthimos?
Lanthimos. Yeah. Huge night. I mean, you had the Best Actress award, and you got the best in your category. That's the highest honor they could have.
I think he's a Greek director, right?
Yeah. He might be mixed. I don't know if he's all Greek, but that is a very Greek name. Best Director overall, probably no surprise here. You had Celine Song for Past Lives, which won nothing. All the hype on this movie. Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things. He was nominated in the Best Director regular category.
That's crazy to me. That
was nominated in both categories. Yes, he was. He was nominated in both categories. Well, you also have to remember, Shah, Golden Globes is the Hollywood foreign press. This is not American people. This is foreign.
Still, though, man.
I'm just saying, it's a different palette. You know,
this is the director of Dogtooth we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, this is pretty wild.
Killing of a Sacred Deer. All great movies.
I've never seen The Favorite. Have you seen that one?
No, and I love that actress Olivia Colman, who won an Academy Award for that. She won an Academy Award. Gotta watch it. It looks amazing. That's where he sort of discovered Emma Stone as a muse. That's where she first worked with him. And now it seems like she's going to work with him. That's like his girl now. She's going to work with him forever.
Well, no, the next project is Ari Aster. We'll get into that later.
That's right. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Martin Scorsese, Bradley Cooper, Greta Gerwig, Yorgos Lanthimos, and Celine Song all lost to Christopher Nolan. Finally gets his flowers. For Oppenheimer, I mean, it kind of seems like a slam dunk there a little bit.
Yeah, Oppenheimer definitely was a clean sweep pretty much.
Yeah.
Almost everything it was nominated for won, I feel like.
Yeah, pretty much. Best foreign language film. This category looked incredible. There's a movie called Me, Captain, not familiar with it, Society of the Snow. Then you have Zone of Interest, Fallen Leaves, which was on my radar, Past Lives, which everybody's been talking about, Anatomy of a Fall wins Best Foreign Language Film, which it probably will win again in the Academy Awards. It was just a staggering achievement there because Shah, I should also point out that the person who directed it and wrote it then won Best Screenplay overall of a motion picture, Anatomy of a Fall. It beat out Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Past Lives, and Killers of the Flower Moon. So if anyone has seen this Anatomy of a Fall, please let us know because I don't know, Shah. I may have to pay to watch this. I need to see this fucking movie.
I want to know who the director is. I'm going to search this up because I'm curious to see if he or she.
It's a woman, Justine Triet. I can't pronounce her name. She's a French director.
Justine Triet.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a first film. Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna check to see if she's done anything else.
Now then we get into the TV categories. Succession beat a bunch of good shows there, and of course Lily Gladstone won for Best Actress in a Drama for Killers of the Flower Moon. She beat out the Past Lives girl. She beat out Carey Mulligan for Maestro. She beat out the Anatomy of a Fall actress. She beat out the actress who played Priscilla Presley. And she beat out Annette Bening for Naiad, which is a biopic, small art house biopic. And another big win for the Holdovers, supporting actress in a motion picture, which I called this the minute I saw the movie, Divine Joy Randolph. She beat Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer. She beat Rosamund Pike for Saltburn. She beat Jodie Foster in this Naiad movie. She beat Danielle Brooks for the star of The Color Purple, co-star of Color Purple, and Julianne Moore for May, December. I can't wait for you to see this fucking Holdovers movie, dude. It is just a really solid, low budget, hot fucking property, man. It's all the buzz coming out of it. It's it's probably going to get a good knock at the Academy Awards, I think. But
did we ever go over that movie? I don't recall.
yeah,
that.
I talked about it. I saw it in theaters. That's the Christmas movie that came out with Paul Giamatti that I said was only out for a week, and then it ended up on cable 2 weeks later. It is already on cable. I believe it's on Peacock. It might. I could be wrong. Joe Punches. Let me know what network that's on, Joe, if you can, for the Holdovers. But this girl, when you see this movie, you're gonna watch this woman. She plays this is the 70s, early 70s. She plays a cook in a boys' private school. And she's a very like large woman. You know, her son had died in Vietnam. It's on Peacock. And within like 2 scenes, you're gonna be like, yeah, this woman's winning an Academy Award. She just seemed like a real she just seemed like she wasn't acting. She seemed like a real fucking person playing a real, like just acting like a real person, dude. It's fucking incredible, man. It's such a great movie. I've now seen it twice. I'll watch it again. It's fucking fantastic. But a big award shot. This was something I thought was going to happen, but the category was so fucking deep. We're talking about supporting actor in a motion picture. You had Mark Ruffalo from Poor Things, Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon, Willem Dafoe for Poor Things, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, Charles Melton, he's in a movie on Netflix called May December. It's pretty controversial. And who wins? Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer. Now, I don't know if you remember, I told you when I saw Oppenheimer that Downey was almost the only person that could beat Downey was De Niro, as far as I'm concerned. Downey just fucking killed it in that movie. He gave a great speech. It was a big night for him and another big award for Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning you thought it was his best role in a long time, if not,
the 21st century, easily.
What would you argue was his better role than this one?
Chaplin is amazing. He was nominated for Academy Award for that.
I've never seen Chaplin.
It's the biopic of Charlie Chaplin from the 90s before he started having all his heroin problems.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Oh, it's great. Dude, look it up right now. It was a highly touted movie. This put him on the map. Mid 90s, early 90s. It's so good. Even Joe Punch is like, oh my God, it's amazing. Of course,
Anthony Hopkins is in there too.
Oh yeah, dude, it's phenomenal. He's the co-star. It's a biopic of Charlie Chaplin, and he's perfect in it. Probably should have won the Academy Award.
Fuck, I gotta see this.
What year is this? Like 92?
Give me a second.
I just watched half of this on TV a few weeks ago.
Oh,
it's brilliant, man. Oh, dude, 92 Shah. Holy fucking shit. Damn.
I have to see this now.
Oh, you'll love it. It's pretty long too. It's a long biopic. Very accurate.
He was such a fucking legend.
Oh, dude, you got to. When do you see him? He's fantastic. He's perfect in it. You could tell he got into this. This put him on the map, man. Charlie Chaplin. I mean, not great actor, bad date. Let's just leave it at that.
Why? What happened with him?
Chaplin, he liked to marry underage girls.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Not like 9, but 16, 17.
Yeah, I mean, this is like 100 years ago. Wasn't that common back then?
People got married at 16, 17. Yeah, so 15 people got married for sure. I mean, it doesn't excuse, he liked teenage girls. Like it was just, he was obsessed with the kind of teenage vagina there for a while. Inexcusable, no doubt. But this is over 100 years ago. He married these women. It's like Jerry Lee Lewis. Married.
What I'm saying wasn't that common back then though? I know Elvis was after him, but Elvis met his wife.
Man, you're talking about 30, 40 years later, 50 years later, practically. Elvis. This is the teens and the 20s. Yeah. It's a part of the story. It basically explains why he was so famous and why he just sort of disappeared into some type of obscurity. And it was because in America, this was frowned upon, but overseas, nobody gave a shit. Like in France, in the UK, where he was from, he's a Brit. The public didn't give a fuck. In America, they gave a fuck when they found out. Shout out to Music Head joining us in there.
Damn, I have to see Chaplin now, dude.
I would talk to you about it I've seen that movie 100 times. It's one of my favorite 90s films. But Downey finally wins a big award here in the 21st century. What did you think of his performance in Oppenheimer? I thought he was great.
Probably my favorite Robert Downey performance, I would say. I mean, again, I'm not like a Iron Man person, so it's not really, it's not my thing. The only other one that stands out to me was Tropic Thunder.
Oh, he was great.
I thought he was fucked. I mean, you can't do that nowadays, but
no, you'll never see that.
I thought he was phenomenal in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah,
I
you'll never see that again.
Who was the guy? The black dude from Mad TV. What was his name?
Oh, the guy who just got kind of canceled. The guy who did more of the voices, or the heavyset guy.
Yeah. He did the Jay-Z voice and stuff.
Oh God. There was two different dudes.
What was his name?
Oh, that's Ronald Anderson, music head. Look at that. Shout out to our good pal, Mr. Ronald Anderson. Phil Lamar.
No,
I don't think it's Phil Lamar.
No,
is that he's got like a Greek first name or something? He got canceled for that short he did with what's her face, Tiffany Haddish.
He just did an interview with DJ Vlad. I'll find it. He did like a 3-hour interview with him.
Yeah, I know his name. He's got like a Greek first name or something, right? He's a chubby dude. By
the way, off topic, but DJ Vlad just had the QAnon shaman on his show.
Yuck.
Yeah. Oh, Aries Spears.
Aries, yeah, he's a Greek. That's a Greek god name.
He was talking about Tropic Thunder and saying how there's nothing racist about it. It's a comedy. People are just too sensitive and soft nowadays. It's a good interview. You guys should listen to it. It's like a 3-hour interview on DJ Vlad, but yeah, it's a phenomenal interview. He's very entertaining.
He was canceled last year for that. He was the one who made that video about having sex with the little kid as a joke, like the Funny or Die video with Tiffany Haddish. Remember a couple of years ago?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you know about that?
No, I just know. I know he came at Lizzo, and Lizzo had it.
Oh yeah, he was. He said some funny shit about Lizzo. I think we covered his Lizzo jokes.
He's hilarious, dude. I think he's
not an unfunny guy, but
yeah,
he definitely got canceled. I don't remember the full story around that, but that was Aries Spears. Yeah, Aries Spears.
Yeah, Aries Spears.
I know. Yeah, and by the way, he looks the same as he did on Mad TV. He looks like he's aged the day. He still looks like
he got fat, dude. He's like
I thought he was always that fat.
No, he's like double the size now. He's fat as hell. Yeah.
Well, fat don't mean old. You can still look fat and not look old.
No, you said he looks the same. I was saying.
I was trying to remember. Fuck. The whole thing. He made the video about trying to have sex with his girlfriend's kid or something. I just don't fucking remember. He does great impressions.
Are you sure that was him?
Oh, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. If you put Aries Spears canceled, it'll come right the fuck up. I mean, he's still working. This guy's not going to go away forever, But he did good Eddie Murphy impressions, people are saying. Slave Cheeks is saying, FYI. But so that's the Golden Globes. Now, there is some controversy from the Golden Globes, Shah. Yet another person who looks like me, Joe Coy. I think he's a Filipino comedian. I don't know if he's all Filipino. Not a very funny guy. He's kind of like a meat and potatoes TV comic. He got the gig late. No one wanted to host the show. It's becoming a thing where no one wants the toxicity of hosting it. But the Bear did great. There's a bunch of TV awards, but we were more focused on the movie awards because I know Shah doesn't watch a lot of these programs, and neither does B Show for that matter. But Joe Coy was terrible. He literally, Shah, in the middle of the show, blamed the writers for the bad jokes. Like, he actually blamed the fucking writers. And some of the writers went on social media and said, I'm so glad I was on strike for half the year so that this motherfucker can bury me on fucking television in front of millions of people. But he was terrible. Today, he's kind of backpedaling and acquiescing about how he just had some shit. His jokes just suck, but some people perceive them as misogynistic, but I just perceive them as not funny, Shah.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the guy, but
he's been around.
I'll take your word for it. And the whole chat room is saying he was unfunny, so
terrible.
I'm not sure why he got that job.
Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. Nobody want. I don't know who had it initially, but it's a very sort of thankless job. I don't even know why do you even need a host? Just round robin. There's 900. The most famous people in the world are sitting there. Why the fuck do you need a host? Do you think that's a dated concept?
No, I think it adds a lot. I mean, who would you say was the best host when it comes to anything? Grammys, music awards. Yeah, I would say Ricky Gervais, and one of the most standout ones was probably Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. I liked even old school Billy Crystal back in the day for the time period when we didn't have a lot of this sort of people like looking over their shoulder. Chris Rock was probably my favorite. Jimmy Kimmel, I think, is hosting, or somebody terrible is hosting.
Oh, that's how I got to know Jimmy Kimmel when he first hosted one of those award
so
shows.
unfunny.
Yeah, I was like, dude, what is this? But yo, Ricky Gervais, I would say, yeah, I agree with the chat.
By the way, he won a Golden Globe for best comedy album, best comedy movie over some pretty stiff competition. Kimmel is hosting. I'm sure it's just going to be Aaron Rodgers jokes all night. Yay. And probably Trump jokes. Yay. What an original concept, Shah. I'm sure I'll have a lot of original Trump jokes for the Academy Awards.
Yeah, I'm so over the political jokes from 2020, dude. It's just,
kill me.
At this point, I'd rather get Biden jokes. I think that's funnier. Like him falling asleep all the time and being out of that's more relevant right now than Trump jokes. Trump, I don't think he's going to do much. I don't think he's going to win the presidency. Like it's irrelevant in my life.
Yeah, it's just not really like I don't know, it's just not funny. You know what I mean? It's just not funny.
It's also played out. I mean, how many people have done bits on Donald Trump for years and years now?
It's super annoying too because everyone does it, and it's like to me to stand out, like you said, would be to make people make Biden jokes for sure. I mean, they absolutely do, but not at the level that they make Trump jokes. I think to stand out, I would ignore it completely and make fun of the people in entertainment because a lot of them don't seem to have a very good sense of humor about themselves, and they're fucking sitting right there. You know, you could make fun of some of the biggest people in show business 30 feet away, or you can make fun of, a geriatric presidential nominee. I mean, which one do you think would require more original thought at this point? But thank you. But, he is hosting. I don't have any high expectations of it. We have not yet discovered who the nominations will be, but I think we all have an idea of where this is going.
Right.
There is some talk about Godzilla being nominated for some shit. I just want to say as a side note, Godzilla has now made almost $100 million and has been held out shot for another week again. This movie cannot stop making money or getting attention. And I can't wait for you to watch this motherfucker. Let me tell you, you're gonna lose your shit.
That's a movie I actually really want to see in movie theaters. It's not an IMAX, is it?
It might not be anymore, but it is in theaters through the weekends with the long weekend.
Was it an IMAX movie though? Did it get an
IMAX?
IMAX
I didn't get to see it in IMAX, unfortunately.
Because that's the type of movie that can really benefit from the IMAX experience.
It's funny you said that, Shah, because Oppenheimer is now back in IMAX. Unbelievable.
What?
Yeah. Yep.
Why?
It just got announced. Yep, they're back.
They are really milking Oppenheimer, dude. Like, they are. Come on, man. It's not streaming anywhere. I mean, I guess we discussed it last week. It's coming to Peacock soon.
I think it's on Peacock now or this weekend. But if you not for nothing, I know you've seen it, but there's something you need to see in IMAX. I am telling you right now, it's a completely different experience sitting in a fucking IMAX theater. And I regret not seeing Godzilla rather than IMAX. Sorry.
I really want to see Killers of the Flower Moon. I'm thinking about signing up for Apple just to see that.
You could probably get a free week or something, right?
Yeah.
It's totally worth it.
That's coming out this week, right?
This week too. It's wild. Yeah, everything's dropping. For the most part. So you'll have all these big movies. Barbie's been on Max. The Holdovers is on Peacock. Killers of the Flower Moon and Oppenheimer by the end of this weekend will both be on television.
By the way, sidebar. I tried to get my girlfriend to watch Barbie. She could not sit through it.
It's funny. My wife tried to watch it with the girls, and my wife checked out about an hour in, and they haven't gone back.
She couldn't even make it 20 minutes, dude. She was just not. It was not her thing.
I caught 10 minutes of it, and I didn't think it was very interesting. Margot Robbie's just fucking smoking. By the way, our good buddy Mr. Anderson said, "I've seen him live. He's not funny." I'm assuming he means Joe Coy. Clarify that if it was Jimmy Kimmel, Mr. Anderson. But she couldn't get into it at all.
No, I don't mind it that much. If it wasn't for the man bashing in the movie, I would have actually liked the movie. You know what I mean? I just found it kind of annoying. Because imagine if there's a movie that's bashing women the whole time, like that that wouldn't get a theatrical run that made billions of dollars.
It probably could do $1 billion. It just would probably be through the Ben Shapiro's company or something.
Exactly. It'd be like an Alex Jones special or something.
Alex,
you know,
Alex Jones is Barbie. We're doing our own version of Barbie. We're gonna do a Barbie, our own Barbie. But Shah, let me tell you something. To me, I expect Godzilla, when all is said and done, to go down in some kind of history. It is now the second highest grossing. I think it's behind Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or something. I could be wrong. It's behind something. It is now the second highest gross Asian movie in America. Godzilla Minus One is an unstoppable force. I don't know a single person who doesn't love this movie that's seen it. I mean, it's breaking box office records.
That actually doesn't surprise me though, because Godzilla, it has like a cult following. You know what I mean?
Sorry, Shah, excuse me. I want to correct myself. Passes a major milestone worldwide. Godzilla has surpassed 90 million globally, is approaching 100 million milestone, 50 million domestic, and is now the highest grossing Japanese language Godzilla film of all time, and is breaking box office records. I mean, who the fuck saw this coming? I simply don't understand. How did this happen? Honestly, it's made more money than I think Killers of the Flower Moon.
See, that doesn't surprise me though, because like I said, I think Godzilla is one of those. It's got an actual huge cult following. You know what I mean? That's been passed down to generations, like
decades,
grandfathers to father to son. You know what I mean? Like it's that type of, brand. I feel like at this point, especially with Godzilla and Kong being a hit and being a success, and I guess we're getting a new one this year.
Yeah, we're getting a new Godzilla Kong movie where they fight another Kong person. I don't know, like Kong type creature.
Yeah, I don't know how interested I am in the American version. I saw
they're pretty good. I've seen them all. I've seen them all in theaters. I saw one or two of them in IMAX. The one with all the monsters in it. I like that one a lot because I love Rodan and I love Ghidra and all that other shit. Look at that little dog. I'm a big Godzilla fan, but Shah, we're talking about like there's different levels of Godzilla. You have what they call the Shin Godzilla, which is the rubber one, still very popular, culty, been around for 1 million years. You have the Americanized versions, which are modern in the last 10 years. There's been 3 of them. They're very successful. This is neither of those. This is nothing to do with nothing. This is a World War II based movie, mostly a drama. And it's only 15 mil. It has the same budget as Iron Claw. The only difference is this is making $100 million fucking dollars.
Now, this is it's not in English, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
See, that always surprises me when they put non-English movies in theaters like that. That's kind of amazing to me because I don't know. It blows my mind that many people would show up to read subtitles on a movie screen.
Yeah.
But
when you see it, you'll know why. You'll be like, yeah.
No, I get it. I just don't think you would be able to, get away with that 10, 15 years ago.
Probably not. But I'm such a fan of the movie. I can't wait to. People want to know when it's coming to streaming. The problem is it hasn't left box office, so it's still making money. But if you live anywhere in the States or overseas, because I know a lot of you are overseas, I couldn't recommend a movie more. It was such a wonderful experience. B-Show really fell into the same trap I did, where it was like you didn't know you were walking into this perfectly crafted movie that's just happens to have a big lizard in it. Like Joe Punchy says, it's great written, has layers, amazing piece of art. It's so well shot, and it makes 15 million look like 70, 80 million easily. But and there's got to be a sequel. There has to be. There's no official sequel. The director is excited to do a sequel. Can you only imagine the hype on a sequel like this if they decide to greenlight a follow-up?
No, it's gonna get several sequels with a 15 million budget, and it's making 100 mil. Come on, man. They're gonna make 16 of these.
Some people got very rich off this fucking movie. Imagine invested in this going, I'll tell you what, I'll come in for $1 million producing. I don't really know. I mean, even if we recoup, I'll write it off as a tax write-off. And then it just explodes.
I mean, if you had the money and the opportunity to do so, it's a Godzilla movie. Why wouldn't you? I would have done it. Fuck.
I could only imagine.
Seems like a no-brainer.
I could only imagine. I wonder if the fucking director got back end. Can you imagine?
Probably.
The director probably get paid like, some pittance money, like a couple $100,000. Like, we'll tell you what, if we recoup, we'll give you a piece of the box office. These motherfuckers. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. It's and by the way, you can't go anywhere on any of the entertainment sites without this being a story. Like, it's a story everywhere. People want to know why this worked, how this happened. Like there was, you have to remember, Shah, this really didn't have hype on it at all. Like, it wasn't like this was anticipated to do well.
Right.
It
Yeah,
just
it came
sort
out
of
of nowhere.
happened. It came out of no right, Like, even like, it kind of reminds me, I hate to say it, and I'm sure you're gonna agree with me, and B Show would agree with me too. It's kind of like Terrifier 2. It was just supposed to kind of be around, do what it was gonna do, and had the cult audience behind it. And then the mainstream or normies latched onto it and lost their fucking minds.
Yeah, I get the comparison. Obviously, for very different reasons.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
But as of right now, Shah, there is no plans for a sequel. There's no. It would be hard pressed to imagine. But I'll tell you this: they got to get that director back in there. When you see the movie, he made every choice. All of his choices were great. He's got to get whoever did that cinematography. I'd like some of these principal actors back in there. The fact that they got the permission from the Toho company to use the music. I can only imagine the physical digital release, the physical media release of this is going to be huge.
Oh, I'm sure. I would definitely buy this on physical. I don't think I have any Godzilla movies.
None?
Actually.
Not even like any classics or the reboots or any of that stuff?
No. Criterion actually put out a gigantic. Let me pull this up for you. They did like a gigantic booklet. It's actually the size of a book.
Is this
and
new?
No, it's been out for years. And but I think it's got like 14 Godzilla movies or some shit in there.
But it's got they're all the Shin ones. They're all like
they're all the 60s and 70s ones.
Sounds fun to me. I love those movies.
Yeah, so this is the set right here. Look how big it is.
Oh my God. When did this come out?
Oh, years ago. So it's from 54 to 75.
Wow.
So almost 20 years of Godzilla is in this.
Oh my God. Is that like a board? Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's the packaging. You open it up. The inside has all the discs like this. It's gigantic. It doesn't fit on, like, it's very awkward on a shelf because it doesn't fit the rest of the movies. No. It's available. Oh, yeah, you can buy it.
God.
Yeah, it's just like a book. For people that are interested in this, Criterion does a 50% off at Barnes and Nobles twice a year. So usually I think it's like $250 for this. So you can get it for, $125-ish, maybe $115 during the sale. So I would recommend waiting until that happens. I think that the sale is in April, I want to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
well, my birthday's in May. I'm just saying. But this is something I grew up on these movies and reruns on Channel 5, like the old Fox here. I don't know what it was in Philly, but so I'm a super fan of them. I'm a big apologist for how shitty they are because Shah, when you're a kid, you don't care about graphics. You know what I mean? You don't care about. It's just you just stimulated from the visualness of the characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my movie taste is changing rapidly. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every decade of my life I get into a complete different genre of film. Like 15 years ago, even as little as 10 years ago, I wouldn't appreciate movies like Oppenheimer. Like, I would find those movies boring. You know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't be my thing. I was strictly
you're also very young at that point. Let's be honest. I don't know that a 22-year-old me would be like, Oppenheimer was the greatest thing I ever seen in my life.
But I feel like, we're going through like an evolution with the younger generation because the younger ones, they appreciate the art and film and all that stuff a lot more than I did when I was in my 20s. You know what I mean?
Well, they also have a lot more access than you did.
Give me 1 second. I got to put this.
Yeah. Well, one of the things like the people have to realize is someone like myself, right? So I'm in my 50s. So when I was 22, if I liked a movie, I went and saw it in theaters. Maybe I saw it a second time. And then I waited about 4 or 5 months for it to come out in the video store. And then it came out in the video store. If you wanted to buy it, it could have been anywhere as like $50. You know what I mean? And then, if it was a DVD, and then they'd put a second version out, which is the double version of that DVD a year later. And maybe it would end up on cable within the year, so it was like you had to wait. You had to kind of earn your stripes there. You know what I mean? Now, you know everything you need. You could see a movie tonight and jump online, and there'd be 500 YouTube channels dissecting the film. If there's something you didn't understand or you thought meant one thing, you could probably get several dozen different YouTube channels at the least to co-sign what you felt about the film, right? Or to kind of you would learn, about, oh, like I didn't know that's what that meant. Like take a movie like Beau is Afraid, which we
Right.
might, like I said, we might do an episode on. But think about going to see Beau is Afraid 15 years ago and not having the access to the internet to learn anything about it and just having to, like, just nothing. Just you just see the movie and maybe talk about somebody that saw it, and then 6 months later it comes out on video or something. Like how can you how do you commit, how do you give that a good level of your attention? You know what I mean?
Right. I think internet, like you said, has dramatically changed the landscape of film because, for myself, I discover a lot of movies by going to certain trusted creators on YouTube and listening to their recommendations of movies that I don't even like. Polish movies. I don't know nothing about Polish movies.
Mm.
You know how many Polish movies I love now? They do all types of weird shit.
Yeah, they
I
got some
would have
crazy ass
never known
movies.
about that. I would have
Yeah, they
never
got some
known about
crazy
that.
ass movies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the internet, like you said, if the internet helps you, like remember the first time, you saw Dogtooth, you're telling me you
Yeah.
didn't go on the internet to learn more about that movie?
Yeah.
You
Nah,
know,
man.
it's a
And,
prime
and
example.
yeah, no, exactly. Like, Dogtooth, that, by the way, the only movie that I've recommended to my girlfriend that she's absolutely fucking hated.
Really,
She hated that movie.
I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. I don't think, other than like maybe Mike from the Necromaniacs
Yeah,
podcast.
she hated that. I think the
Yeah,
incest in the movie really just kind of
yeah. I mean, look, if you're somebody who can't tolerate incest in a movie, I'm not going to argue with you. You know, that seems like that's not a benign reaction.
right.
There's, like, I may have told the story, I may not. Are you familiar with the movie The Revenant?
Yeah.
Okay, I
No, no,
forget
no,
who
no. I'm thinking of the Ravenous. That's what I'm thinking
no,
of.
the Revenant with Leonardo
No.
DiCaprio, Tom Hardy. It's a famous movie. If you want to just pull it up real quick, it's a super famous movie. There's a reason why I'm bringing it up, and I'll tell you why. It's not that old. It's maybe like 7 or 8 years ago. It was a big Academy Award movie. It
Oh, I
was
remember
based
this
on a
movie.
book. Yeah, I didn't like the movie that much. I didn't care for the movie that much, but it was a big art house. Like it was the movie to go see, right? I think it was based on a book. So you got Tom Hardy and Leonardo DiCaprio. Tom Hardy is the recent hot shit motherfucker. Can we just see who the director is of this film? I don't know who the director is, but I think the director plays a part as to why this was so popular with people. Now, let's go to
Alejandro
Alejandro. Who's this guy? What has he
Gonzalez
directed?
Inarritu. Inarritu.
Naruto. First Mexican director to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Director. What has he done? I just want to see what he's done here.
Let's see.
The Revenant. Oh, he did
Beautiful.
Birdman. Oh, Babel. Babel's a great movie. Beautiful. That's a good movie. I've seen all these movies. Have you ever seen Birdman?
Yeah, it's one of the only superhero movies I can tolerate, actually.
It's not a real superhero movie. It's like a fake superhero.
Yeah, but I mean, it's after.
Okay, so this guy, we've seen this guy's work. This guy's artistic as fuck. Brilliant guy, right? Just absolutely fantastic. So he does The Revenant. I guess that's 2015. Okay. He does The Revenant. Me and my wife go see it on a weekend night. This is very rare this ever happens. And we're sitting in a sold out, packed movie theater at a Regal, jammed in this motherfucker. Now, about 40 minutes into the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio gets eaten alive practically, almost gets mauled to death practically by a bear, graphically. And it goes on forever, yo. And it looks good. It looks like if you wanted to see what it would look like to get eaten alive by a bear, this is what it would look like. My wife literally leans over to me, hundreds of people in the movie theater, and goes, I'm leaving. Gets up and fucking leaves. Hand to God. Walks right the fuck out. Like walks through like 50 people and goes and sits in a buddy cop movie with The Rock for the hour and a half that I'm in this other movie. Now I was mortified, but she couldn't. She can't handle like a lot of graphic shit.
Show her
And she's,
Dogtooth. Show her Dogtooth.
I know, I could show her Ichi the
Yeah.
Killer, you know,
Go with
take a
Dogtooth.
bunch of acid and watch Ichi the Killer.
Yeah.
But I've seen people walk out. There was people who walked out of Terrifier. I've seen people walk out of fucking other horror movies before. Just walk the fuck out. just like furious because they don't have the palate for it. So like Latos, whatever the Dogtooth director, whose name I'm never gonna remember, I can get it. It's not for everybody, right? Like I love The Lobster. I've seen The Lobster like 4 times. I've seen Lobster maybe 4 or 5 times. I've only seen Killing of the Sacred Deer once. I need to
Same.
see that again. I've seen Dogtooth twice.
He concerns me though. Like his movies kind of concern me about his personal life because I'm like, dude, the subject matter that you touch on all these movies is a little iffy. Like it's always incest and like weird family dynamics. It's like, what are you doing on your spare time?
Well, the knock on Poor Things is that the sex scenes, and she's like not even a real person, and she's having graphic sex with a lot of people, like full nudes. And she's not a person; she's a doll. He's a creation. So that's the not, and she likes it, so she just starts fucking all these people, and then starts charging them money for it. Like her instincts kick in. Is like, yeah, I really like this. I just want to, I'm gonna make some money doing it. It's part of the story. Now, this is a farcical movie. It's fake. It's a fantastical movie.
Right.
But it's a heavy thing. It's like you create this woman, and then like 20 minutes in, she's just fucking everybody in the movie. Kudos to Emma Stone. Doesn't need to be doing that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's also art, right? I mean, if it's done by him, I think there's an artistic value to it. If it's done by, the Mitchell brothers or the Dark brothers in the fucking back of a San Francisco porn theater, I don't think it's art. You know what I mean? I haven't seen the movie Slave Cheeks. And Joe Punch is right. Babel is great. And yes, Joe Punches, I remember Journey to the Center of the Earth where they used real iguanas. And Cleric of Chaos, I am old. Look at the beard. But yeah, like
I think he was talking about me. I think he was talking about
he's talking about you?
I'm 36.
You were 45?
I'm 36. I think I look 45.
Maybe
he's talking about you. I don't know.
Not if you're 45, look like this, you got problems. Not you, me. But I think you can get away with it in an artistic value, right? Like Caligula, you weren't even born yet when Caligula came out. But the idea initially behind Caligula was Gore Vidal, the famous Gore, wrote the fucking movie. Like Gore Vidal wrote the fucking movie. And that was the whole point that the guy from Penthouse there, Guccione, was pushing. Was like, it's got porn in it, but Gore Vidal wrote it. And he's one of the most brilliant writers in the world right now. But at the end of the day, it didn't, like Malcolm McDowell and Helen Mirren in Caligula. I think Caligula is brilliant. I fucking love Caligula. I've watched it a million times. It's a porn movie, but I think Caligula is maybe the beginning of that, where you have art house, really good acting, and hardcore banging, or at least, simulated to some extent hardcore banging.
Yeah, I mean, there's literal cum shots in Caligula.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like
I think there's gay sex in there too, isn't there? Yeah,
might be.
I'm pretty sure.
Roman Empire, man. Back then, they touched a lot of men.
Yeah, I mean the orgies. It was first serve, first come. But Shah, before we head over to the Patreon, because we have a shit ton to get to, and there's a trailer I want to throw in there that we didn't talk about. I do want to talk about something that happened today that was announced that I think we all saw coming, but it became sort of official. Backtrack a little bit earlier in the year, last year, excuse me. There was a hype. There was so much hype around David Gordon Greene's The Exorcist. The Exorcist. What do we consider this, a reboot? What do we consider The Exorcist?
I wouldn't say it's a remake. So yeah, it's a reboot.
So he rebooted The Exorcist, and it was, as we all remember, it was maligned. People fucking hated it. It did not do well. It tanked. It ended up on cable fairly quickly, and there was speculation that the studio would react because of how poor it did and how bad it was received. And they had multiple sequels, Shah, if you remember, lined up for this motherfucker. There was going to be, I think, 2 more films, just like Halloween, which was also fairly maligned at one point or another in the 3 movies. Well, it got pulled from the schedule. David Gordon Greene was no longer attached to the sequel, and now the sequel is officially off the docket for the studio going forward. Shah, are we surprised? Are we not surprised?
In a way, I'm surprised because they spent so much money getting this property. So I think there's definitely going to be a shit ton of, sequels coming out. I think they've just halted the process till they figure shit out, because the backlash on this was unreal. I mean, people fucking hated it, Like people were legitimately angry that this was
Yeah.
done by Gordon Greene. He's a guy, man. I feel like he's got a lot of negativity attached to his name now from Halloween and Exorcist. I don't know moving forward how much Blumhouse is going to be able to, you know, put asses in seats with this guy's name attached to the films.
Well, I should correct myself, Shah. He's departed the sequel. It's officially off the calendar there. It was supposed to hit theaters April 18th, 2025. It is now, they used the date to hand out a Michael Jackson biopic directed by Antoine Fuqua. They shelled out for people who don't remember. I don't know. We don't have this on the screen, but it was a major disappointment at the box office. Universal paid $400 million for the rights to make a trilogy of films, and it did $65 million domestically, a total of $132 million globally, and so it lost hundreds of millions of dollars between what they purchased and, of course, the production costs. My God, Shah, this was a disaster.
Yeah, it really shit the bed with this one. I think, I'm actually curious to see where they're gonna go with the next one. Like, are they gonna incorporate the two stories again? Like, where are we going with this shit, man?
Yeah, I mean, they honestly just don't know. And by the way, this is just up in the air. Like, they don't know what they're doing. There's no director attached to it. Both Universal Universal and Blumhouse together. It's a joint venture. And we shit on Blumhouse. We make fun of Blumhouse. It's earned. But the difference, Shah, is the other Blumhouse movies that we don't like make money.
Yeah, I mean the recent Blumhouse movie, Night Swim, I've heard horrible. Like I haven't heard a single person praise this movie.
Just terrible.
Every kill is off screen. There's no blood.
Dark
it's just
as fuck.
like, yeah.
Can't see shit.
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah, typical Blumhouse right there. So yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise, but it's kind of a surprise. I mean, they handed this guy two primo horror franchises in a short period of time, and one of them made money but was maligned. The other one is a fucking colossal failure. I mean, he has no home runs here, David Gordon Greene, other than Pineapple Express.
Well, I think the first Halloween did pretty well, right? The 2018.
Well, progressively as a trilogy, it got less and less.
It declined,
less declined.
Yeah.
I like the first one. You like the first one? I thought.
I really like the first one. Yeah.
I could watch that again. I wouldn't. I did, and the second one grew on me. The third one to me is just unforgivable. I can't. I can't forgive the third one. I just can't. I could forgive my wife blowing like 80 people at a disco before I could forgive that third movie. Don't get any ideas.
You can forgive your wife being in the movie Caligula. In the
I can. Yes, in the many orgy scenes. But if you haven't seen Caligula, check it out. I love it. I actually have physical media version of it. That's probably worth a lot of money, by the way.
They're putting it out on 4K soon. So
when is the Pixar version of that coming out?
I don't know, man. I do love the ending though. I think it's got some of the dopest kills. You know the scene with like the almost like bulldozer thing that's just chopping heads off.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They bury them in the thing.
Yeah.
Also, they kill his bait. They kill his son. They kill everything.
So for the people that haven't seen it, it's slight spoiler, but it's like a fucking 50-year-old movie. So I mean, at this point,
literally 50-year-old movie. Yeah.
But there's a scene where they have all these people captured, and they have them buried in the sand up to their necks. And there's this gigantic like bulldozer like machine with blades on the front, almost like a gigantic lawnmower.
Yep.
That just kind of sweeps through and chops all the heads off as
they go like flying up in the air, and everybody goes, "Hooray!"
Yeah.
They're all cheering.
It's so dope. I love that, dude.
Yeah, and I love the orgy scenes are insane with the music, and he's dancing around. Malcolm McDowell is like peak brilliant in this. This is after he had done A Clockwork Orange, and a very young and sexy as fuck Helen Mirren. My God, Helen Mirren's still hot now. She's 80 years old. It's gorgeous, and a great actress. So if you've never seen it, it's a 3-tissue movie for sure. But it's got a lot of quality. By the way, Shah, I love the music in that too. It's brilliant.
There's different cuts of it too. So if you don't want to watch the pornographic one, I think there's
there's different versions of it.
Yeah. Another cool scene that might sell you on it. They captured a thief, and they made him chug gallons and gallons of wine, and then they proceeded to stab him in the stomach as the wine just pours out.
Yeah, his belly exploded.
It's cool as shit.
Yeah, I think they also cut some nuts off and cut some dicks
Oh
off.
yeah. Let me see if I can grab it real quick while you.
Oh, of course. Yeah. We want to end on a high note, people. So we want to end on the hardcore Caligula. I have a non-rated version that I bought. I think I used to sell it in my comic book store because we sold DVDs there, mostly horror and foreign films. Like we would sell like Ichi the Killer type movies and shit, and Old Boy, and of course Caligula. But let me see your version, Shah.
So this is the old school.
Oh, I have a blue one.
DVD.
I have a blue one. I have the original non-rated, I believe. It has a documentary in it.
It's got a whole.
Oh my god. How much did you pay for that? Whoa.
I bought this like 10 years ago, probably. More than 10 years ago.
Fantastic. Look at Malcolm McDowell. There's Helen Mirren right there. Look at that. Holy shit. Oh, is it John Houseman in this? John Houseman is in this, isn't he?
Not sure.
I'm almost positive it. Peter O'Toole might be in it. Yeah, Peter O'Toole plays Caesar, right?
So this is shit. Yeah, I think he does. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Peter O'Toole, John Houseman, Malcolm McDowell, Helen Mirren. Yeah, that's John Houseman. Holy fucking shit! Some of those famous actors of the time there.
Now, this is a movie I'd like to upgrade to 4K actually, because I think this would look amazing on 4K.
Yeah, I would. Do they have it on 4K?
No, they're working on it. They're restoring it. Currently.
Yeah, I wonder why the rights there, because Penthouse owned it for years. The Guccione family.
I think it's a smaller boutique label that's putting it out.
Well, it's definitely worth checking out. That's a classic. Hey, we got a bunch of stuff we're going to get to on Patreon. So you really want to consider joining us if you haven't already in the new year. Treat yourself. Head on over to patreon.com/breaktheapp. $5. That's going to get you in the door, and that's going to get you on the team. But right now, we want to plug our pals. We want to plug Deathmatch Outlaws. We want to We want to plug the Drew Yari Experience. We want to plug Cassette Classics 86 on YouTube. The Down Under Thundercast. Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle. They're making their return in the next couple of weeks. And of course, Necromaniacs podcast. They're doing Cobweb this week, Shah. They're visiting Cobweb, I think, for the first time. Nice. So that's going to be an interesting episode to check out. But you should be checking it out every week, of course. The Human Experience podcast. Ringside is Wrestling on YouTube. I'll be joining those boys across the pond fairly soon. Mojo and Dirk's most dastardly show, The Garden of Doom. Then we have the Old Guy Metalcast, and of course, our good friend Mr. Anderson and his wonderful clothesline, funkbetty.com. Head on over to funkbetty.com today. Get yourself some new clothes. MJW Games, Cherry Jesus on YouTube, and of course his band Kaiser. We have our good friend Sam Hoyos at the Red River Podcast and his wonderful band Playing Dead. The Bayou Geeks, that's my pal Fatty316. He just got to meet a very famous Peter Cullen, voice actor. He was very excited about that. We've been talking about that offline. The High Marks Podcast, the Midnight Mass Creature Cast, and of course the Weekly Detour with Anthony Elson and Teddy. Guns and Geeks Podcast. And you definitely want to subscribe and check out B-Show Brian when he's not under the weather. He's making fantastic videos about various topics of entertainment. And of course, he's a co-host of the show. Shah, anything on the old planet, Mondo, happening?
I'm working on a video on the Miami aliens. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but about like 250 cop cars showed up
last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that in depth. And I'm also going to start doing something. This is weird. Are you familiar with Omegle? Do you know what that is?
What is that? Like a picture thing or something?
So no, it's a website. And now it's called Omi.tv, I think.
Okay.
So basically you go on there anonymously and you don't sign up or anything. There's nothing attached to you.
Is that like chat roulette? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you just get...
I know what it is.
Yeah. So you just basically meet up with strangers. So I think I'm going to start doing that kind of content where I just hop on with random people and just fuck with them and just troll them. Mm-hmm. I saw somebody do this on YouTube and I thought it was fucking hilarious. Now he's extreme because he he'll pretend like he's like kidnapped his wife and shit like that. So he takes it to the extreme. But I don't know. I found it hilarious. So I want to take a jab.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. So of course everyone needs to hit that subscribe button for your channel, of course.
Yeah, hit the like button for this video if you're still listening. Hit that like button.
Yeah, and of course hit the like button, and of course make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And we want to thank you guys for checking us out. We're going to head over to Patreon in a little bit, but we want to thank you guys for hanging in with us, and we'll see you next week as we spit out the top entertainment stories on Spitball Media Podcast.
Peace.